has been driving me crazy about the wellness industry lately is the 30-step morning routine in order to have optimized health or hormones or digestion or whatever it is that I see all over Instagram. There is not a woman in her 40s or her 50s that has time for a 30-step morning routine these days. I certainly don't. Bria, you are my guest today, and I'm excited to have you. Do you have a 30-step morning routine?
I mean, only in that there's like a dishwasher to unload and kids' lunches to pack and people to drive to school. That has to be shoved into my routine. But as far as like my health, no, I have like a 2-step one.
Honestly, the other day I was thinking about this. I see it and there is one specific person on Instagram, and I don't know why I continue to follow her. It's nonsense. She doesn't have kids. She's not married. I don't know if she has a real job. She has this like 45-step thing with 100 different supplements. And she's just like, just do this, and literally lists it all the time. And I think about my morning routine as brushing my teeth and splashing some water on my face and getting my child to school.
Yeah. And that's what most moms, it's like the morning rush. Everybody knows it. Like the morning rush and then the afternoon rush. And if you have really littles, the bedtime rush. It's like, it's a shit show. Can I swear?
You can swear. Totally.
I always have this like little voice of my parents in my head. Like, did you really need to use that word so much? But you know, I think the beauty of midlife is like, we have less fucks to give. So we're just gonna let it out today. But yeah, I agree. It's, I wake up, pee, brush my teeth, chuck on some clothes, feed the animals because that needs to happen. Like I do make some greens. That's like my morning thing with a couple little things in it. And then I head out the door for a quick walk. And then it's all the other things like breakfast, pack lunch, drive to school. And then you kind of come home and you're like,
yes,
okay, now I begin my day.
Yes. So, yeah. My husband and I joke about our morning. Every morning is like running a marathon. Once the oldest kid, he's 3.5. Once he's in daycare, and we've got the 2 twins at home still. Once he's in daycare, it's like we found our stride. We're like, okay, okay, nap time, cool, time to eat. Whatever. I'm working, he's working, and then 4:00 hits, and you're like, oh my god, I've got 10 miles to go, and I'm dying. Bedtime. Bedtime is the finish line. So yeah, our days are like running marathons, and I do not have a time to Instagram my life with 1,000 supplements, 600 different beauty products and red light therapy on my face. We'll talk about red light therapy in a second. Yeah. Today's episode is special. We haven't decided yet if we're going to make this a series. So, to all of the women who are listening to this, maybe you could leave some comments if you liked this type of episode where we kind of just get down to the no BS about wellness trends. We've talked about them as biohacks or just regular hacks, and what's actually worth it, what's not worth it, and what you should actually invest your time and money and effort in if you are looking to optimize your health. We are going to be talking about all kinds of things today. Bria and I have not exchanged ideas, so we don't really know what's on the list here. And you've already mentioned a couple that I'm like, ooh, I already disagree slightly.
Oh, I'm excited. This is going to be fun.
So I think it's going to be fun. And we'd love to hear from you. And if this is the type of episode that you like listening to, let us know and we can create more for you. So Bria, do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first. Go ahead. Okay. Are we just you're throwing one out?
I'm throwing the one out.
I almost feel like we should talk here's my issue with biohacks. Maybe I'm going to throw that
Okay,
out.
Start there.
One, I think the name, I have a problem with the name because it's like all marketing and it makes us feel like there is a cheat code to do something, like the word hack by definition. But ultimately, I heard someone call it bioharmonizing, which I realize sounds a bit woo, but I think it actually is way more logical, where really bio meaning your body, your biology. So like you have to then pay attention to you. You have to not just take random hacks from out in the world. And 2, it's designed to help your body do what it should be doing. So there's not really a hack. Like it's not a cheat code. It's really we're going to, in this crazy chaotic world that we live in, we're going to help our own body with its biology do what it should be doing already.
Right. Function well.
Yeah. Function well. Yes.
Right. Okay. So now that we know the definition of biohacking, some of the things that I'm going to ask you about, I actually don't have a problem with. I have a problem with what it creates in terms of behavior in women. So we can talk a little bit about the nuance as well. So let's jump in. How do you feel specifically about AG1, IM8, or greens powders?
I like them for me. And I think this is where I think like the intention is everything. And there's like that great saying like of know thyself. We can almost bring everything back to intention. For me, I like to feel super hydrated first thing in the morning. I think it's the right thing for me. I need a little something in my guts before I like do my walk. And I think I need to cover my bases, you know, as a vegetarian that lives in like this busy world and probably prepares more food than I make. I like a nice cohesive situation where I'm like getting maintenance stuff. But that's what it is. It's like maintenance, not correction. So I love it. And I use it as a tool for hydration first thing in the morning.
I like that. I didn't know you were vegetarian. So interesting. Okay. My take is not necessarily with the product itself.
Yeah.
I agree. They are all, you know, I'm looking at the three. AG1 is a brand. IM8 is a brand. Greens powders are not a brand. It's just a product with multiple brands. I use a Reds powder.
Mm-hmm.
I use a Reds powder because I don't know, maybe I have an irrational fear of cancer and I'm just like pumping myself full of antioxidants all the time.
Yeah.
So it might be completely irrational and that's fine. What I hate is the way they are marketed and specifically IM8, David Beckham.
Yeah.
I don't even hate David Beckham. I've watched his documentaries. I like Posh Spice. Okay. I grew up with her. Not really, but you know what I mean? Anything a celebrity is going to endorse, I immediately question.
Yeah.
Like he's going to put his name on something. It's going to create so much profit for him, which is fine. I don't have a problem with people making great money. Mm-hmm. But I do have a problem with the way it makes women think that it is replacing vegetables, replacing, like you said, maybe as like a maintenance piece, maybe as like a hydration piece. But I had a conversation with a client yesterday who is on IM8 and I'm like, oh, she is somebody who needs convenience. That's fine. But when I went over her food tracking, all she's eating is protein because she takes IM8.
That's why. That's her justification. Okay. It is a bonus, not a basic. Like that's a really important thing. And I think coming back to like biohacks, like really there are things that should help you do the basics better, not replace the basics. But I agree with you. I have also had a client who was pretty much only eating or drinking protein water, of which I had never heard at that point in time. You know, there's protein water here in the States. There's protein. I'm like, so you think you're getting your 50 grams of your protein a day from protein water? Like what the hell's in this water?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. I like
marketing is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So did we decide that these powders were a yes, invest, or a no, let them go?
I think that you're right. They do not. I think this is where it's like so individual. I love them. I do use them. I encourage everyone like in my life to drink them because I think they're a great like, oh, let's make sure we're hydrated because nobody is. And let's make sure we have kind of the basics added to the points that we miss. But it is absolutely not a replacement for like, you know, fat, fiber and protein in your life. You really have to think of it like some sprinkles on top. Let's see, do these sprinkles help me feel better? Yes or no? And then you can decide that in a 30-day period.
Okay. I like it. My thing would be just stay away from anything that's endorsed by a celebrity because it just feels so fake. It just feels so fake. Like, don't do it because David Beckham has co-founded it. Like, he didn't do the research and development himself. He didn't go there and be like, I want to make sure every person in America is utterly healthy and every cell in their body is functioning better. He went, hey, this is pretty cool. I bet I can make a lot of money. Slap my name on it. That's what he did, guys.
Yeah, he didn't co-create it. Yeah. Whereas with AG1, I think Dr. Mark Hyman, who is a functional doctor and an integrated doctor, if you are watching the video, you're not a fan.
Have you heard what he said about women in perimenopause?
I don't know that I have. I haven't listened to him in a long time.
Oh, he gets
like the beginning of my health.
Well, you know, here we go. I don't want to say anything I'm not a disrespectful person. And so I don't want to be disrespectful. I have heard him have opinions about women in menopause and perimenopause that I just feel like he shouldn't have opinions like that. And it made me question whether or not I wanted to listen to him any further.
Oh. Well, that makes me question it. So thank you for that. I don't think men should have a lot of opinions on it. It's like
if you can't feel it,
in the arena, if you're on the ground in the arena, you don't get to say much from the stands.
I totally agree. Totally agree. The best thing you can do as a man working with perimenopausal women is just listen to them. Yeah. That's it. Just hear them and believe them. Okay.
Do you want me to throw one out?
Sure. Yeah. You go next.
CGMs, continuous glucose monitors.
That's my next one for you. Okay. So without any nuance, I would say no. Here's my reason. What I have seen, and I have a client specifically who has become so obsessed that anytime she sees her blood sugar move at all, she deems that food inappropriate for her.
Oh boy.
It has been almost a year of just trying to get her to experiment without her glucose monitor. She doesn't have a blood sugar issue. Okay, just to be clear, blood work has come back. She has a very strong fasting insulin. Her A1C is good. Like she's in good metabolically flexible position, if you will. But the second she doesn't sleep as well as she normally does, she is also, I think she's in her 50s. So she's postmenopause. If she doesn't have the perfect sleep, she automatically thinks it's something that she ate. And she has now demonized things like green apples. She has, right? She does not eat. When we look at her macro breakdown, she eats 10% carbs.
Oh gosh.
And she's not keto. That's the other thing is that she's not then. So, okay. In my head, here's like the sort of the bro science that comes out in me, right? The fitness background. Okay. Like if you're not going to eat carbohydrates, then you need to move into a ketosis state.
Yeah.
So that your body is fueled.
Yes. You need to eat more fats, right?
Right. Exactly. Okay. So she is not in ketosis, has no desire to be keto, but is eating like 10% fat or 10% carbohydrates only because she has monitored her blood sugar so much. And she has listened to, there is a Canadian doctor. Again, I will not name names. There is a Canadian doctor who says blood sugar should never spike. And my thought process there is, well, hang on a second. That's literally what your body does when it eats carbohydrates, is that you have this increase in glucose and then your insulin comes in and goes, hey, let's calm you down a little bit. Yeah. And that's bringing your body back into homeostasis. And you and me as FDNs know that our body is always wanting to be in homeostasis. And we have feedback loops and different hormones and all kinds of chemical reactions happening in the body at all times to keep our body there. So for that reason, I say no to the glucose monitors.
Interesting. Okay. This is where it's like, part of me is like, for everyone listening, if any tool you're going to use is going to make you crazy, I think it's just going to be a hard no, because for me, that's obsessive behavior when we hear that. So if you're not sure, ask someone who's not your friend. Is this crazy behavior? And see what they say. Because we can't always see outside of ourselves, but anytime you're monitoring something, like we need to monitor things, right? Like what we track can be improved, which is really important.
Sure.
But it should not consume your life, right? These kinds of things. It should be like, hey, I think tracking should really have a time and a place and a period. If you can't do it, you want to work with a coach to do it. But I think for someone who really doesn't know how to eat, I do find a CGM. And I think for women, honestly, like the max they need it for is a month. We have a cycle. So do it for a month of your cycle. Start to see what foods impact where your blood sugar is, especially in that second half of your cycle. Or if you're postmenopause, you probably need it for 2 weeks because look, we all eat pretty much the same thing in 2 weeks. Like there's a few different things in there, but it's really interesting data at times. But if you're going to become a crazy person because of it, then no, it's not for you. So you have to, again, know yourself.
Yeah. I also think that like when somebody doesn't wake up or when somebody wakes up in the middle of the night, it's not always blood sugar that's causing the issue. No. Or it could even be that you actually need more carbohydrates before bed to keep your blood sugar stable. There's just so much there. And I think, probably all the things we're going to talk about today, there's so much nuance and can be good for some people and can be not great for others. And I think you and I in this conversation just need to kind of look at it at the mass. But I do agree with you that you can have some information and it can give you some good data. Yeah. But what you're going to take from that data is concrete evidence of XYZ with no flexibility. You're not putting yourself into a good situation.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. And I think there's like natural, ultimate, like foundational, again, harmonizing hacks. We'll call her bioharmonizing. Like you cannot out hack like never actually functionally moving your body. You can't out hack having, staying up too late scrolling or being too busy or taking your you time until midnight. You can't out hack a crappy diet if you're eating crappy foods, and you can't out hack a nervous system that's jacked. You just can't. So those things have to be in place. And also, you can't really out hack a gut that it has like a parasite in it or that is completely, dysbiotic. So I think for Michele and I, again, as FDNs, like the big thing is test, don't guess. So foundations. And if you can't do those foundations, then you need help. Like, I think that's always a really clear red flag. Like if you cannot seem to get your bed to bed at a decent hour routinely, if you cannot seem to figure out your nutrition, then you have to have help to do that. That is what we do. And then step 2 is always going to be test, don't guess, because in testing, we will see, do you need some, like, would a CGM even benefit you? Or we can get into peptides and things. Would peptides even benefit you? It's driving me crazy that people are just jumping on peptides and not even testing. And I actually like peptides, but like, your people are buying them online from random people and they have no idea if they even need that message in their body. It's insane to me. Like this is just the most insane. It's like reminds me of when we were, back in the day when we used to like try to find weed in the park. Like it's just not smart. Oh, this guy looks sketchy. Let's ask him.
How on earth we survived? I don't understand.
All like crazy stuff. You can't buy random drugs from people, but you need to know your people if you're going to do something, and even that is questionable.
This day and age, you can barely even talk to people you don't know. Okay.
That's very true.
The coffee shop, you say, hi, good morning. They're like, what is, you're not in my phone? Wait, what?
I know. Sometimes I like wave at my neighbors and they just look at me and keep going. I'm like, for real?
We've met. Do you not remember? That's funny.
Okay, sorry. I got off track there, but yeah.
Okay, let's talk about peptides. I could go on a million different ways, but let's talk about peptides then. So I'll throw peptides in as the next one.
Okay.
Tell us what you think. Yay, nay, or total BS.
I think I have used peptides. I've used them in practice, and I think they can be a wonderful biohacking tool. However, using peptides without, again, step 1 and step 2 that we have talked about, and someone to help you understand how to use the peptide appropriately is like foregoing like the cupcake and just licking off the icing all the time. It will give you gut rot. Like it's not a smart idea because it is literally a message to your body to do something. And if that message is already working in your body, or there's other issues for the reason that you are unwell. So we'll call out like specifically the GLP-1s, because I think this is really what most people are like randomly buying from random people and having the most side effects from. I haven't heard anyone have any side effects from BBC 157, TB 500, or like some of the other ones. But with the GLP-1s, it's like, do you even have a blood sugar or insulin resistance issue? Do you have an inflammation issue? And then certainly, do you have a gut issue? Because that's a horrible idea. I mean, we're slowing gastric emptying a little bit here. So if you have like H. pylori, or you have any type of indigestion or slow motility, you are making your body a toxic soup. So no wonder people are getting, sick. And also, I also really see that people are like overdosed on it. So that's another thing. I don't think the medical people know their ass from their elbows when it comes to, dosing this stuff. But yes, again, can be beneficial, is a powerful tool, probably one of the more powerful ones where you'll actually potentially see results. And if you don't have that problem, you're going to cause yourself some problems.
Yeah, I agree. One we definitely agree on. I had a conversation with a practitioner a few weeks ago, and she does not test anything. No blood markers, no gut, no hormones, no detoxification, no nothing. All she does is give out peptides, and she can't prescribe. She's not a prescriber.
That's not a practitioner.
It's a drug dealer.
A drug dealer, yeah. Basically, if you're an influencer, you're a drug dealer now.
Right? Yeah. I can't even air the episode because I was in total shock simply because it's so bio-individual. Like you could really be doing harm here. And to the point where she had mentioned she put her daughter on a GLP-1, 15 years old, not for weight loss, for like digestive issues. That's it. And then I was like, wait a minute. I was like, this doesn't even make sense. And I was struggling to actually have the conversation with her because I didn't really want to alienate her, but I've decided not to air the episode because I was just shocked. So be forewarned out there, guys. Like there are people who are really not taking your health into account before offering something that you might not even need and something that could actually make your metabolic health worse.
Yeah. And I'll even just to nail that home with a client story. Now I have a lot of clients that come to me already on GLPs from their doctor. So not even necessarily from an influencer, but from their prescribed from their doctor. And clearly it worked and now it's not working. Some of them have been on it for years, which you should also not be. It should be cycled. And their cortisol is flat. Yeah. Completely flat. Because again, when you're screaming, so the issue, a lot of the pattern we see is like, oh, well, this amount didn't work. We're going to give you a higher dose. So now you're screaming a message into your system doesn't need. And so it exhausts your whole body in the process because your body is working to survive, but it's like draining the life out of you. So I have many clients that come to me with like completely flat, exhaustive phase cortisol. Their hair is falling out. They have no energy. They just feel like Eeyore in life and they're miserable because of this.
Oh my goodness. If people just understood the science behind it, you cannot inject something into your body and have it not affect your cells like on a cellular level. And that's the actual purpose of the GLPs. Correct me if I'm wrong, is to give signals, messaging to your cells to give them a job to do. But just like anything, if you've got something going on in your gut, your energy is going to your body is going to put energy into trying to heal that or, keep things at bay. If it's something that's invasive, the same thing's going to happen. If your cells are uptaking something that it doesn't need, your body's going to be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And it's going to have a reaction.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I will say at the same time, I've worked with women in midlife who are genuinely doing all the things. We've supported the entire body. Everything is really running, but we're just having this sticky elevated insulin and this sticky elevated glucose. And so a 3-month round small micro dose has changed the game for them. But we're talking 3 months and done. And then they're good to go because that messaging has been repaired. And the reason the messaging broke in the first place has been corrected. And I think that's a really important piece that a lot of people are missing because we're all really obsessed with just losing weight fast.
Yeah. I was talking to another colleague of mine, Dr. Doug. I don't know if you know who Dr. Doug is. Osteoporosis is his thing.
I do know Dr. Doug.
Okay. And he was telling me the other day that he does talk about genetics in the piece of heart disease and inflammation and that kind of thing. And he's somebody who lives his life the way, somebody you would think is optimally healthy. And he couldn't get his inflammation markers down until he was on a GLP-1. So yes, I think that there is some real incredible things that can be done with this type of medication, with this type drug. But like, God, you got to be responsible. Just like our point in the beginning, like you can't just walk up to the person on the street and ask for weed anymore. Like it's not safe, guys. Find somebody reputable, at the end of the day, it is a drug.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Find somebody reputable.
And even in the 80s and 90s, when you're walking up to someone in the park and if you score weed, it still might just be oregano. Like, let's remember this.
100%. You still don't know what you're getting.
You don't know what you're getting. So must do the work and do the testing and know. Otherwise, you're really just wasting a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
And creating a lot of danger.
Yeah. That's the other thing, right? They can be expensive. It can be a huge investment. And if we're going to say yay, nay, or BS, I think both of us are like a yes. Just know who you're getting it from.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. PEMF mats.
Those are the grounding mats, right? Like EMF protection.
Yes. Yeah. So they create I think they help clear the energy in your body and ground you.
Okay. How much are they?
I think they are quite my sister's a huge fan. So I have some insight and I think they run $1,000 to $3,000.
Okay. So my answer is going to be hell no, because go outside in your bare feet, put your feet in the cold grass and get some sun on your face and just breathe. If you don't have time for that, pardon?
There's a hack for you. There's a PEMF mat hack.
Exactly.
Spend your $3,000 on testing, as Michele and I are saying, and instead just go stand out in the grass with your face in the sun for 5 minutes.
Yes. So for grounding, that's how I would feel would be a far better investment of your time and energy and money. Like if you're talking to me, if you're going to be like stressed out at your computer because you've got a deadline, but you put your feet under a PEMF mat, you're missing the purpose here. Like you're kind of missing the point. So no, I would say save your money 100%. Now the EMF protection, I don't know. I've spoken to Bobby Bresner from the founder of Therasage. And I have a Therasage red light thing. And they also have an EMF line. Or like an EMF protector line. And I asked him openly, like, I need to understand the science here. Like, this is like stickers on your phone. Like, really, does this work? Yeah. Right. Yeah. And so he gave me a really encouraging bit of science around it. And the idea is that these stickers, devices, whatever, have, to your point of like bioharmonizing, the idea is it creates an environment, like for instance, in my office where I've got a laptop, a computer, a phone, an iPad, ring light, Wi-Fi boosters. You know, I've got it all just like daggers into my body right now. Basically, he was saying that it's not like it cuts off the Wi-Fi from getting to my body, but it creates an environment that is more harmonizing for the body.
Okay. Like neutralizes it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm like 50-50 on that. He did give a really good bit of information about that. And I should actually go back and listen to that conversation and see what the science is there, but it hasn't compelled me to buy anything yet.
Right.
What's your thought?
I think if I can be a bit woo. So there's a part of me that's like, if I had $3,000, I mean, I have a kid heading off to college and one in high school. I'm like, if I had $3,000 just lying around, sure, I would. And if someone wanted to send one to me, I will sit on it and let you, I will be very like religious about sitting on it.
We are open to sponsorships, everybody. If you haven't, we can be bought.
Yeah. Send me one. I will sit on it every day for 30 days. I will, because I'm very good at being consistent. And then I will tell you if I think it makes a difference or not. But no, I haven't bought one because it's a lot of money.
Yeah. And like you could really spend your money elsewhere.
Yeah. On again, step 1 and step 2, if we haven't done those things yet, which I mean, don't know many people who have. So
yeah, 100%. So is that a no for you on the grounding mat?
I think it's a no. If you haven't done those other steps, if you have like loads of money, I'd be like, I would do it. I would sit on it for sure. So
okay.
There we go.
Okay. Next one, cold plunging.
Oh my gosh, that was my next one. Okay. I know all my answers. I'm like, what are the hills I die on? Because all my answers are like, maybe I will. My quick answer on this is going to be like for women in midlife, no cold plunge. However, if you can go to one of those like hydro spas where you have, you know, like the whole situation of, you know, we relax in the warm water and then we sauna or steam and then we cold plunge and then we rest or whatever it is, hot tub after that, I can't remember. I think that can be fine if we're doing it in that like hydrotherapy world. But as far as like, let's go and dip into like Lake Ontario in the winter where there's an ice hole, I think that's insane for the female body when it's already going through a lot of stress in life.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. You know what? I've tried it. I tried it exactly one time. I have a video of it. And I made it to my knees. I don't know. I like my showers like hell hot. Cold to me is like 80-degree pool.
No, I don't like to be either. I think I did a series called Cold Truths because I think for women, like a cold shower, like a 1-minute cold shower can achieve everything they're talking about, like the hormesis, like the positive stress that we're kind of looking for on the body to almost just change the channel on the nervous system. It can achieve that in a cold shower, but like going out of your way to do that, I think is just a lot of effort it could be damaging.
Yeah. I agree with you. And I also think that people get like, again, weirdly obsessed with the number on how cold it should be or how long they should be in it. Like, oh, I did 3 minutes today. Like, oh, I did 4 minutes today. And you're like, but why? My thought process is the same as yours. Like, you just need a little contrast to shift states in your nervous system. You don't need it to be 60 degrees or whatever it is. Like, if I like my showers at 95 degrees, 85 is going to be a massive contrast for me and it's going to feel really cold. And I don't think that I would survive something as low as 60 degrees. And so why would I put my body through that especially again, like right back to foundations, knowing your body. Do you know where you are in your cycle? Are you a little bit more metabolically flexible? Meaning, does your body have the flexibility to handle a little extra stress for those benefits?
Better in the follicular phase than any other phase.
Yeah.
That's where we also need. And also it's like, I remember when we were young growing up, if you had a friend with a hot tub outside, in Canada, we'd be in the hot tub and then you could like jump in the snow.
I never did it.
Oh, you did?
I can't do it. I love a hot tub because it's like 102. Would never go in the snow.
Like if it's going to make you laugh, fine. Like I think laughter is a really underrated biohack. Like I think just finding some way to laugh so hard that your belly hurts or your eyes tear up. But if you're like stressing about doing this thing, like that also is not good for your body. So we should not put the body through unnecessary things that are also causing us mental and emotional stress.
Yeah, I fully agree. I don't know. How many more do you have?
I mean, there's like so many, so I could throw out a couple more. I mean, why don't we talk about wearables? Because I have been, and I would be interested in your thoughts. Like I've been a long time user of an Apple Watch, but mostly because it allows me to have my phone on silent and know if the school is calling me for kid pickup. That is purely why I love that. And I do like the circle situation.
Sure.
But
I have complete my rings, guys.
I know. I just do. It's like, look, I did my thing today, which is probably problematic in its own way, what we could talk about. But, you hear there's so many wearables out there in terms of like the Oura Ring, which catches my eye. They're also kind of cute. What are your thoughts on wearables? Yeah. As yes or no?
So my whole thing is body freedom. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's what the podcast is called. I feel like I'm finally in a place of body freedom after decades of needing to achieve something all the time. Don't wait. You know what? Hold on. There's a caveat to that because like now my focus is less on body and more on business, but I'm A-type. I'm driven. I like goalpost moving. But when it comes to the peace inside of my body, like I mean the fulfillment piece, not physical peace. I have never felt more at peace with my body than I am now, turning 40, 3 babies later, working out way less than I ever have in my entire life and having more freedom with my food. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not tracking, and we can talk about that in a second. That doesn't mean I wear a Fitbit. I've had an Apple Watch for the same sort of reasons. Like I bought this is my second Fitbit. I bought, one died and I repurchased it when I was about to have my twins because I needed breastfeeding and timing and, figuring out life. And I needed quick, easy, silent ways to do things. So that was my initial purpose for it. Now I like it when it tells me I've hit my 10,000 steps a day. I like the reminders for certain things. It does bring a little bit of awareness to me. I do not like the sleep score. I do not like the HRV number. None of that takes into account bioindividuality. I've had a client who was so obsessed with increasing her HRV. And when it didn't happen, I didn't even know about it at the time. And so I started looking at mine. Mine is so low, Bria.
I have one.
I have the lowest, I've chat GPT'd it 100 times. Like, why is my HRV so low? Like, I'm very healthy. I know that I am. I know this because I test, right? Like other data tells me the way that I feel, like I sleep 9 hours a night solid.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Right? Like, why is my HRV so low? And so then I did some digging and I've learned I have a very high heart rate. Even in my most cardiovascularly fit in my early 20s, when I was running like 10K 3 or 4 times a week plus strength training, my zone 2, based on the way I felt, so like being able to carry a conversation on a run, I was at like 180 to 200 beats per minute.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
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 So like, I was like carrying on a conversation, running 10K in 40 minutes. Like this is no problem, but my heart rate still showed incredibly high. And HRV is determined by the time between beats.
So if you just have more of like a hummingbird heartbeat, I mean, that's just, you're not going to get a high HRV.
Right. So I was like, why are we so focused on this number? I might not be the norm with a high heart rate. Like my resting heart rate at night typically is like between 72 and 78. My husband is 49.
Oh my gosh. 49 sounds so low because mine is up there too. Like it's in the day, it's like 80 something. So
easily. Yeah. I could walk downstairs to my kitchen right now and my heart rate would be over 100. But I'm not like gassed at all. It's just...
No,
It's just mine. So that was my long-winded way of saying, you look at trends. I like things for trends when it comes to wearables. Like, I like to see that I sleep 9 hours a night. That's great. If I have a night where I'm like, all of a sudden I'm at like 5.5 hours, like what the hell happened last night? Right. But I do not like it as a set in stone. It can become very obsessive. It can become like, I didn't close my rings. I need to get up. It's 10 o'clock. I need to go walk, another 2,000 steps or whatever it is to close the rings. I think that we cannot continue to give our power away. And I think about that for everything. That doesn't become body freedom to me. If I'm stressed about what supplements I need to be taking, or if I'm stressed about my wearable not giving me the right data, or stressed about treating one lab marker and trying to make it change on a piece of paper if I don't like the result from the tests that I do, or whatever it is, we as women need to go inside first and say, like, how do I feel? How did I sleep? Before we say, oh, my watch said I didn't do well. So I'm like,
So I totally appreciate that, where she's like, I woke up and my sleep score was terrible. I'm like, okay, but how did you feel? And she's like, well, I felt fine. And I'm like, she's like, but obviously I slept badly. I'm like, so you're overriding what your body is saying to you and believing a piece of technology over yourself. And I think that, again, I feel like I have done that in my life. I mean, women do this historically with scales. I am going to override how I feel and step on this scale. And if it tells me a number that I'm not happy with, then I'm going to blame myself and feel really shitty inside. And I think this is a really critical step in using any tool, is like our relationship to the tool and our intention behind it has to be better than it is.
Yeah.
We need to know, like, why am I doing this? And like, what is the point? And I think we need to be playful with it and not take it so seriously.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that women have given away their power to so many things and people and life in the society. And it's just so normal for us to ignore our feelings, gaslight ourselves. Yeah. We see it all the time. I've done it. We've all done it. I even say, when people are like, just tell me what to eat and I'll just eat it.
Yeah.
I'm like, hang on a sec. Like, don't give it to me either.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here to guide, but there's something disconnected there that if you really do want to optimize your health, getting in touch with your body, with yourself, with what you need, it's all already in you.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. I think we have a massive disconnect. It's culturally been ingrained into us. And the older I get, the more I realize that our most important relationship is our one with ourselves. And how do we have a good relationship? Communication and listening. So it's like, we have to be able to talk and listen to ourselves at the end of the day. So, even after Michele and I have sat here and been like, hard no on this or hard no on that. Look, if you freaking love cold plunging in January in Lake Ontario or the Antarctic, I don't know, and it makes you feel good, you go. Like, go ahead and do that. Don't listen to me. Listen to your own body.
100%.
But listen, because if you do that and then you are like dead skis for the rest of the day, or you feel like exhausted for the next few days, that is a clear message from your body that is not for you.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a phenomenal place to pause this episode. So I will remind everybody again, wherever you are listening to this, there is a place you can drop in the comments to let us know if you've really enjoyed this type of episode. And we will do more, because I've got a list of like 50 different things we could go through. We could make a few different series of this. So let us know. And thank you, Bria, for being on the Body Freedom Podcast and giving us all of your wisdom. And I can't wait to talk to you soon.
Thanks, Michele. Thanks for having me.